Wool is a natural fiber that has been used in the textile industry for thousands of years. How does the modern sheep industry manage to produce wool on a large scale from millions of sheep? In this video, we'll explore the steps involved in this industrial production, from breeding to processing using proven facts. The history of wool dates back to ancient times, when sheep domesticated for their fiber played a key role in ancient economies. As early as the Neolithic period, around 10,000 BCE, wool was processed to create clothing and fabrics, as evidenced by archaeological discoveries in Europe and the Middle East. During the Middle Ages, Europe saw the emergence of larger-scale production. In England, the Domesday Book of 1086, commissioned by William the Conqueror, reveals the importance of sheep farming, with flocks managed by religious orders and exported to Flanders. According to historical sources such as the Encyclopaedia Britannica and studies from the University of Leeds, English wool accounted for 2/3 of Welsh exports in the 13th century. In Spain, the introduction of merino sheep by the Almohads in the 12th century transformed the industry. In 1273, the King of Castile founded the Mesta, a national association of shepherds that organized transhumance over vast distances, promoting mass production. This structure, recognized by historians such as those at the Royal Academy of Spanish History, lasted until the 19th century and established Spain as the European leader in fine wool. The Industrial Revolution of the 18th and 19th centuries marked a turning point. In Great Britain, innovations such as the power loom, invented by Edmund Cartwright in 1785, enabled mass production. According to the International Labour Organization's (ILO) report on textile industrialization, this led to the rise of Yorkshire as a global center, with exports to Europe. In France, under Napoleon, royal factories in Languedoc imported merino wool from Spain for export to the Levant, as documented in the archives of the French Ministry of the Interior from 1812. In the 20th century, Australia and New Zealand became giants, with merino wool exported to London until the 1930s, according to the archives of the Australian Chamber of Commerce. These historical developments, supported by trade and technical innovations, laid the foundations of the modern wool industry, linking breeding and processing on an international scale. In the 21st century, the global sheep industry produces approximately 2 million tons of raw wool per year, according to data from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, published in 2023. Australia remains the leader, with more than 70 million merino sheep, representing 25% of global production. In 2024, the Australian government announced investments of 50 million Australian dollars in genetic selection programs to improve sheep resistance to disease, as reported by the Australian Department of Agriculture. This aims to optimize the production of fine wool, exported mainly to China and Europe. New Zealand, with 25 million sheep, saw its wool exports increase by 5% in 2023, thanks to trade agreements with the European Union facilitated by the 2022 Free Trade Agreement, according to statistics from the New Zealand Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In China, the world's largest importer, sheep production reached 200 million head in 2024, with a focus on vertical integration, breeding and processing on industrial farms, as reported in the annual report of the Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences. In Europe, France produces around 14,000 tons of raw wool annually from 7 million sheep, according to the French Ministry of Agriculture in 2023. However, only 4% is recycled locally due to competition from synthetic fibers. In May 2024, the Collective Tricolor, a group of breeders and processors, launched a national plan to revive the industry, including the creation of an industrial laundry in Cruz, supported by European subsidies of €2 million via the European Agricultural Fund for Rural Development, EAFRD. Initiatives such as Lanes de Normandie promote local breeds, such as the Avranchin for regional textile products. In the United States, the 5 million head sheep herd produces 20,000 tons of wool, with announcements in 2024 from the U.S. Department of Agriculture for partnerships with Australia on blockchain traceability technologies to ensure transparency in supply chains, as published in the Journal of Animal Science. These facts illustrate an industry in adaptation, with moves towards sustainability and technological innovation, while maintaining massive production involving hundreds of millions of sheep globally. the modern sheep industry presents several balancing challenges. On the one hand, large-scale production relies on extensive livestock farming in Australia and New Zealand, where vast pastures allow millions of merino sheep to be raised on a grass-based diet, promoting high-quality fiber. According to studies from the University of Sydney published in 2023, this contributes to a relatively low carbon footprint compared to synthetic fibers, thanks to the biodegradability of wool. However, managing massive flocks requires increased mechanization, such as electric shearing machines and automatic sorting systems, which maximize efficiency but require substantial investments for farmers. Another aspect concerns industrial processing. The process, from washing to spinning, uses advanced technologies to sort wool by quality, fine for clothing, coarser for insulation, as described in the 2024 International Wool Textile Organization, IWTO, reports. This allows for diversified recovery, but poses logistical challenges, such as transporting raw wool to factories in Asia, increasing costs and emissions. In France, the low local recovery, due to the disappearance of factories in the 1980s, highlights the need for greater structuring of collection, without ignoring the opportunities offered by local breeds for niche production. Overall, the challenges include balancing production volume and quality, as well as adapting to fluctuating markets influenced by alternative fibers. Practices such as genetic selection for more pest-resistant wool, documented by the FAO, help maintain economic viability while considering the needs of rural livestock producers. This neutral interpretation highlights the complexity of an interconnected sector, where technical advances coexist with structural constraints. In short, the modern sheep industry illustrates a continuous evolution of wool production, from its historical roots to today's large-scale practices. Only time will tell how these dynamics will influence sustainability and innovation in this vital sector.